Hello everyone. This is a very special episode and I'm very happy that you guys are all watching. For those of you who have been my supporters from day one or existing members, welcome back. And for those of you who just joined and became a member, welcome to Dress Your Face Live. I'm here with you for a very special bonus class. This is actually a special class for the holidays, and I thought that how perfect would it be if I brought the original model herself to be here with me so we can recreate the bling eye for you the way we did for her birthday recently that got so many hits. It actually was trending on every social media website worldwide. It was insane. So I thought it would be perfect for us to show you exactly how we achieve this look right on camera, live, no edits, no filter, no Photoshop, raw in the flesh. So welcome Husna, Angel John. She has been tagged in all of my latest flyers, so you can find her on Instagram. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. So I wanted to show you kind of what we did for her birthday bash. And this girl is the queen of bling. So when I do her makeup, we always incorporate some sort of bling in her eyes or on her face or something. And it's sometimes, the way we started was like 2.5 years ago with a full bling eye. That became huge. And then we did like some bling eyeliners and some blasting bling on the side. We've done so many different types. And I really feel like this is one of my favorite because it just requires a little bit of crystals going along the top. I know you've seen the flyers, obviously that's why you're here. The exact picture that I posted, that's what we're doing today. You will need Swarovski crystals, the smallest size or the next to smallest size that they carry at Michael's Arts and Crafts. It's basically like, the reason why we use Swarovski is because it's the most shiny. Like any type of Austrian crystal is going to be the shiniest one and look the best in pictures. You could use like regular rhinestones, but it's just not going to bling as much on camera. So what I'm going to show you is we're actually going to zoom in and be really close so you can see every detail on her gorgeous eyes. I'm going to start off with the eyebrows and the eyeshadow base, and then we're going to go on with the whole eyeshadow, and the crystals and the lashes are going to be the very last steps. So I have already done one eye for you so you can see what the end result's going to look like, and we're going to zoom in a little bit. And I just wanted you guys to see what it would look like so that I can take my time showing you how to recreate it on her other eye and not have to rush this class because, as you know, I'm a talker. I love to explain every step in detail times 10 so that it sticks in your head, and I don't want us to go over 2 hours with this because every class is supposed to be an hour, but if you guys have been my members for a while, you probably already know that all my classes are over an hour, like almost 2 hours. So I get it, it's the holidays, we're busy, I'm not trying to like keep you away for too long. So let's get started. We're gonna zoom in and I'm gonna show you the amazing zoomed in eye. So here we go. First of all, can I tell you how much I love this headpiece? This is from Panache by Guinea. She is on my Instagram as well. She is tagged on Husna's Instagram as well. And you can find her page and order directly from her. But I always get all my jewelry and headbands from Guinea. And basically you can get any size or whatever. So I like for Husna something nice and thin and dainty and something that will complement that beautiful eye that she has. So let's take a look. If you want to just lean in a little bit so we can see this eye. Yes, keep looking down. So we over here have a nice row of gorgeous Swarovski crystals. What color is this, Husna? This is champagne or gold?
It's gold.
It's gold, okay. So it's a gold Swarovski crystals from Michael's. It's a smaller size that they have. I've also done a very soft cut crease. For those of you who have seen my last video on the cut crease, I did it the same way but without going all the way in. I let it fade about halfway in. So I'm going to show you how I did that. And it's just basically black and brown. And the whole lid is a soft champagne color. And go ahead and look up to the ceiling. We have a beautiful blue right down the bottom to match her shirt. And we added glitter to that as well. And right on the inner tear duct, I have a lovely, it's like a metallic pencil that I'm going to show you in a little bit. And I applied it right in there. And we also added an amazing little white crystal right in the center. Go ahead and look in the camera. So it gives you this very dreamy, beautiful Egyptian effect, something very exotic, and I just cannot wait to show you so you guys can try this at home. So again, go ahead and look down one more time. Again, we did a very soft cut crease. We focused a lot on the crystal liner, and I did not add glitter to the top of her lid because we already have the crystals going on. I really wanted the crystals to stand out on their own. So go ahead and look back in the camera. So that way it kind of looks like it's glitter, but it's actual crystals. It's very beautiful. And then for her eyebrows, we did a nice ombre brow. She already has good eyebrows to begin with. They're already pretty full. They already have a good shape to it. So all I did was to thicken them and give it the ombre effect. I'm going to show you what I did for that now. So I'm going to get started. If you guys want to go ahead and take notes, this class will be recorded in full HD, and I will be showing you everything again and again and again on video. So you guys will have plenty of chances to practice over and over again until you get it perfect. So first things first, I need to add an eyeshadow base to her. And so we're going to do that right now with my favorite eyeshadow base, which is Soft Ochre Paint Pot from MAC. And the brush I'm going to use for that is the same concealing brush that I always use, which is MAC number 287. This one right here. I'm just going to go right in, take a small amount. Go ahead and close your eyes. And we're going to spread it all throughout her entire eye space. So all the way from brow to the lash line. Okay. If you guys have any questions at all, I just made a post on my Instagram page, and I want you guys to go ahead and ask your questions there. I just posted this flyer, and right under it, you guys can go ahead and ask whatever questions you have so that throughout the class or later on when I do the Q&A, I'll be able to answer your questions. So once your eyeshadow base is on throughout the whole eyelid and eyebrow bone, we're going to complete the eyebrow area with the eyeshadow by adding a brow color. And you know how I like matte eyeshadows on the brow area? We're going to use the Tamana palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm going to go in with Fresh, which is the matte creamy white. So I grabbed a little bit of that product, and now right on the bone itself, I'm just going to press it right on. And it becomes like a nice clean effect. Okay? Once that's on, we're able to do her eyebrows. The reason why I like to do the brow bone color first sometimes is because I just don't want to mess up the eyebrow after I've already done it. Then you have to kind of redo the brow again, and I feel like that's a little bit of a waste of time. So I'm going to use another one of my favorite Anastasia Beverly Hills products. This is Dip Brow, and the color is called Ebony. I'm just taking a nice little chunk of this product with my angled brush. This is just any angled brow brush. This particular one is number 12 from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It has a spoolie at the end, but she has other styles also available, which are very, very similar in case you cannot find this exact one. And right now I'm just sharpening the brush, and I'm going to start right in the arch area, and I'm going to complete the tail. And now I'm going to work my way inward to complete the line under her brow first. If you remember from my brow class, I taught you guys how to use this product. And now I'm going to go over her arch to give it a little height. I'm going to complete the entire tail. Oops. There we go. And I'm going to smooth it out a little bit with the brush, just so it doesn't look completely drawn on. And now I'm going to slowly start filling in the beginnings of her beautiful brows. And what I'm doing is I'm squaring it off, so I'm thickening it up on the top, and I'm barely touching as I'm going to the inner part of the brow, so that it has a little bit of a fade here. So I'm going pretty dark and heavy throughout the body of the brow, but again, that very beginning part of the brow, I'm going very feather light with my strokes, and I'm gonna blend it further with the brush, because I really don't want it to be so harsh in the beginnings. So we're starting to get this really beautiful exotic look going on. And it's just the eyebrows so far. If you guys are having trouble with getting that perfect brow shape underneath here, then what I sometimes do is lift up and dig right in with the angle of my brush, straight in, and I go pretty heavy with it if I want to thicken up her brow. And then you could always fade it with the brush if you want to just fade it out a little bit. But normally I like to go a little heavier in the arch and a little bit lighter everywhere else. All right. So now that our eyebrows are done, we can go for the eyes. So we've already done the brow bone highlight. That is out of the way. We don't even need to deal with that again unless your client wants shimmer, then we could always add shimmer afterward. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go right into that cut crease. So we're going to whip out, if you guys remember, what I used last time, the dip dip down from MAC. It's actually a gel liner, a dark brown gel liner, but I like to use this as a base for all my cut creases just to keep me in check and to keep me nice and sharp and on point. So we're going to use, we can actually use the same brow brush or any angled eyeliner brush for that matter. And again, I'm going to use my hand as my palette, sharpen up the brush. And while her eyes are kind of open, I'm going to go ahead and etch out where I want my cut crease to end. So I'm just creating a little bit of a mark here. And I want it to kind of flick out a little bit at the same angle that this flicked out. So now that we have that mark, I can allow her to close her eyes. And I'm going to bold up the eyeliner here. Flick out the outer corner a little bit more. Now that her eyes are closed, I have a little bit more control. And I'm going to very lightly drag in the line, but not all the way. Remember last time I went all the way in with my line? This time I'm going to let it start fading about halfway down. A little bit more than halfway down. So what that does is it becomes like a softer cut crease rather than a full cut crease like the last look that we did with the Arabic eye. Now that that is done, I can go in with a small brush. This brush is also an angled brush, but it's a little bit fuller in the bristle. And this is from Hakuhodo J163 HSH. J163 HSH from Hakuhodo. And I like this brush because it's pretty short and stout and a little thick and firm. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into my palette and pick up the color Chocolate. Give it a little tap. And we're now going to set this line. Eyes can be open or closed, it doesn't really matter, as long as they're not like totally moving too much. So I've set that line with eyeshadow. Now I have to make it a little thicker so I have some product to move around. So I'm just going to make my line a little thicker, adding more of that chocolate eyeshadow. And once you get it a little thick like that, you can go in with a Like I'm going to go in with my brush here. This is the 217 from MAC. It's dirty because I already did her other eye, so I'm going to use the same brush to do this eye. All I did was mix Bengal with chocolate. Bengal is the caramel color. I'm going to lift her skin so I can get deep in here. And I'm just going to apply a nice thin layer of the mixture of Bengal with chocolate to create a softer brown. So basically what I was looking for is this part to be the darkest brown and go lighter and lighter and lighter as I fade. And that's the reason why I mixed it with Bengal, to create that lighter fade and to make it a little bit warmer. Now I'm going to add more Bengal alone. This is just Bengal by itself without the mixture. And I'm going to put that right on the top edge of her cut crease to really warm it up and give it that fade. I might even add a little bit more over here actually because I barely see it. Okay, there we go. So adding that in, everything's looking nice and smooth. It literally took 2 seconds. Like you can already see that shape is just so regal and so exotic looking. I absolutely love it. So are you guys following me? We're good so far? So far I drew the line using the dip down from MAC, and then I set it with chocolate from my Tamana palette with Anastasia Beverly Hills, and then I added a little bit more chocolate to make it thicker, and then with this brush I blended chocolate and Bengal to start the fade going upward, and then I added a layer of Bengal on the top layer so that it's a nice fade from dark to light. And we already had fresh on the brow bone, which is that matte, creamy, whitish cream shade. So that's what we have done so far. Now we're going to use a color right on the lid, which is going to create a nice soft glow all over the lid. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix blush with Gilded. This gold from Gilded and this pastel from the blush color will create a nice soft champagne tone, which is what we're going to use to fill up her entire lid space. And I'm going to go back with this flat brush here. This is just a regular shader brush from MAC, and we're going to use that on her lid. And I'm just going to fill in her entire lid space with the mixture. If you want to clean up a mess, let's say you did your cut crease and it's like not clean, it's a little bit messy, what you can do to clean that up, and I showed you guys this in the last episode as well, you can lift the brow and lower the lashes to stretch out her skin and literally use the metallic eyeshadows to just cover up all of the smudges and to make the line really sharp. So that way you get a really nice clean cut crease without having to wipe off or clean up anything. And now I just fill up the remaining gaps. And we're basically done with her cut crease on the top. Now, and see how it just makes the eyes look huge? Like it creates a whole new crease. This is why I love doing cut crease. Also on mono eyelids, the eyelids that don't have much of a crease, Asian eyes, or hooded eyes. Because even if Angel did not have a crease, we could have just drawn this crease on, which we literally did. We drew a new crease right above her current crease to make it look heightened and to give her eyes that very, very exotic, big, huge look to it. I mean, it absolutely looks ravishing. So that's how to do it, and like I get that question a lot, like how to do it on Asian eyes, and I still do it the exact same way. I have them open their eyes, I have them look straight ahead, and I can draw where I want their crease to go, and then I just start fading it out, and it ends up looking like a whole new crease. It's just truly amazing. So now that the whole eyelid area is done, I'm going to go ahead and do her eyeliner on the bottom and her eyeliner on the top, and then we're going to start doing some of the designing elements. So for her eyeliner, we're going to use brush number 263 from MAC, and we're also going to set it with the Noir eyeshadow. Grab the 263. I'm just going to clean it real quick. The brush cleaner that I use is from Cinema Secrets. It's my absolute favorite. And it just gets rid of everything so fast. Every time I use the eyeliner, even if I'm using it on the same person, like I just used this brush on her earlier, but I cleaned it because eyeliner makes, especially the Inglot eyeliner that I'm going to use, it makes the brush so hard. So you want to clean it if you're going to wait in between both eyes, which normally you wouldn't wait. I do. When I'm doing eyes, I don't do one whole eye and then the other. I do each step at the same time on both eyes. So usually I don't have to clean it. But in case your brush gets gummy, I recommend that you clean it and do it again. That way it'll glide a lot easier on your client's eye. So I'm going to dip right into the Inglot Gel Liner in number 77, which is awesome. It's the blackest black. It's just really gummy, but it's a really awesome black. And I always shut it as soon as I'm done using it because I don't want it to get dry so fast. So make sure you guys are staying organized and shutting your lids right away. And now I'm just going to sharpen my bristles. And I'm going to have you look up. Go ahead and look up. I'm going to do the waterline first. Spreading the black in the waterline. Bleeding it over just a little bit. I'm just bleeding it over the roots of her lashes so that it looks a little bit darker in the roots as well. And now I'm going to go back, sharpen my brush even more because I want it to look like a blade. And go ahead and look up again. I'm going to now create like a cat eye technique. Basically what I did was I ignored that her eye goes in this way with her tear duct. I went under her tear duct and created a nice line underneath it. So it has a downward pointing angle right here. So now that that's done, I can do her top eyeliner. Go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to do her wing first. You can do her wing closed or you can do it open. Why don't you open your eyes? I want to show them how I do it open. When I do a wing, sometimes if I'm confused as to where the wing should go, I have the girl open her eyes and I just create a little bit of a wing while her eyes are open. That way I can see what angle I'm doing it at, and then I can have her close her eyes and then make the wing all perfect. Now that I know what angle I'm doing it at. So once you do the wing, then you can go ahead and do the rest of the eyeliner as you normally would do it. I like to do it in sections and then I go over and smooth over everything. And make sure you get all the way to the inner part of the tear duct as well. And what I'm doing to reach there is I'm lifting her skin so that I can get deep into that tear duct area. Right in here. Just like that. And now to make the cat eye on the inner corner, make sure your brush is nice and sharp. Go ahead and look over there. Have her look in the opposite direction and just draw your line, but very carefully so that it doesn't get too fat of a line, become too fat of a line. You want the line to be skinny, and the way I make my line skinny is by just drawing very softly, not pressing hard on the bristle, because if you pressed hard on the bristle, it would look like this. And when you're doing such fine lines, you have to make sure that your brush is very sharp and that you're barely touching the skin so it stays really, really fine, okay? So that's how I did her inner corner there. Now, here's the part that's a little bit of a game changer. If you're new on this subscription, this is going to be something that I'm going to do for every eye class. What I do when I'm doing a waterline is I always set it with the same color eyeshadow. So what's happening here is I put a black eyeliner and I have to set it with a black eyeshadow, the Noir from the Tamana palette. So I'm going in with brush number 231 from MAC, and I'm starting on one end, and I'm actually not just setting the lash line, I'm setting the actual waterline. So I'm actually pushing product right on her waterline itself so that no matter how watery her eyes will get throughout the day, there is nothing that is going to get this eyeliner to smudge. And that's why I'm able to tell my brides that their eye makeup is going to last up until the moment they decide to take it off themselves. Even if they were to sleep in it, which I always tell them not to, but a lot of my girls, not just the brides, but a lot of girls, if they love their makeup, sometimes they try to sleep with their eye. Guilty. She does it. I mean, the thing is, when your eye makeup is this reinforced, which is what I just did, I reinforced it, even if you sleep in it, even if you cry, even if it's your wedding and you're emotional, whatever, even if you're caught in the rain, it's not going to smear, it's not going to smudge, it's not going to run. So if she went to sleep right now and woke up even 48 hours later, she would still look like this. And she's done it, and she still looked the same. She posted it on her Instagram too. It still looked the same. Go ahead and look up again. A little bit of a proud moment, I have to say, but yeah, for the eyes especially, I don't even care if I sleep with eye makeup on, but like face makeup, usually you want to make sure you get rid of it at your first chance, only because you want to let your face breathe a little bit. But I've been guilty. I've slept with my makeup on, and I was very surprised to see that everything still looked amazing the next day. Oh, pretty awesome. Bad for you, but awesome. Okay, so I've applied the black eyeshadow right on the bottom. And now, another cool little thing that I'm going to do, I want to show you this. This is the luster liner from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's called Liquid Silver. And it's pretty cool. I mean, it literally looks like liquid silver. She has the same thing in liquid gold, which I love to use in that tear duct, especially when I'm doing this kind of a look, to make it show a little bit more that there is a gap in the tear duct. So go ahead and look up. What I'm doing right now is I'm just coloring in that gap. There we go. So now this gap is a little bit more reflective, and you can see the gap in her eyeliner very clearly, and it looks amazing, like a flash of light. It is so stunning. Like, I wish you guys were here in person to see this. It looks beautiful. I'm hoping that it translates the same on through the HD webcam for you guys to see right now, but I'm sure in the recording it'll show even more. So that's what I do to prep the tear duct. And now I'm going to add color right underneath her eyeliner to make it blue like this. So one of the things I like to do is add a base here to brighten up a blue. So whenever I'm doing green or blue underneath the eyes, I like to use this as a base. This is NARS Larger Than Life eyeliner in Abbey Road. And it's just a regular teal, you know, nothing crazy. It's really pretty. And go ahead and look up. I'm going to use this as a base. I'm just going to do it a little messy. It doesn't need to be perfect. I'm just using that as a base right under her black, kind of piggybacking it. And I'm going to use a flat eyeliner brush, such as MAC 212, this lovely piece right here. And I'm going to go into Venezia, which is in the Tamana palette as well, this green. And I'm going to get a bunch of this green. And go ahead and look up. I'm just going to press it right over the eyeliner there. Okay? Notice how I applied her eyeshadow with this brush in a flat motion like this. I did not go this way because I do not want to jab at her eye. I'm not trying to have her uncomfortable in my chair. So I'm going to hold it flat so that she doesn't feel like I'm jabbing in her eye. She feels more comfortable, and I can go nuts and not make her cry. Now that this is done, I'm going to apply glitter. And the glitter that I'm going to use this time, it's super easy, you guys. It is the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liners. And the two colors that I'm going to mix today are Spandex and air guitar. Spandex and air guitar. Right here. This is spandex and that one's air guitar. And I'm going to use both of them right under her eyes right now. So she's going to look up and I'm going to go right over her lower eyelid with this. This is basically just a really easy way to apply very thin amounts of glitter. Normally I use Shop Violet Voss glitters. They have a much bigger range of colors. They also have a ton of new holiday shades, which is what I used in the last class for the glitter Arabic eye. But when I'm doing like little pieces like this, sometimes it's easy to just use this glitter eyeliner instead. So I'm going to let that first layer dry a little bit. Now I'm going to go in with the lighter blue and give it a little bit more of that bluer look by adding a layer of that right after. I'm going to add maybe a little bit more on this side as well, just to match it up. It's so beautiful. I swear, like, glitter makes everything better. If only everyone felt that same way. I love it. It looks amazing. Okay, so we're going to let that dry for a little bit. We could even, look up again. We could even fade the lower edge if you don't want it to be too sharp. And it's looking really cool. So that step is done. Now all we have to do is curl her lashes, put on mascara, throw on the rhinestones and the lashes. So let's go ahead and curl her lashes real quick. She's going to look down to the floor. I'm just going to lift up her lid, go right in. Is this okay for you? Mm-hmm. And then squeeze, open, and let go. This one is from Shiseido. You can find this at Macy's. I like that eyelash curler because it's not so rounded. You know how some eyelash curlers are very rounded? The ends end up pinching your client's skin. So when you're going with a more flatter or semi-rounded shape for your eyelash curler, I'm going to show you again. This one, if you can see, it's not so round. It's like a semi-rounded shape. And that way, it's a less of a chance for you to pinch the skin of your client. When it's really rounded, like the Revlon ones or whatever, some of the ones that I've seen in the past, those usually don't fit everyone's eye. Not everyone's eye is very round, so I prefer this Shiseido one. Go ahead and look up to the ceiling. We're going to put on my favorite mascara. This is Hypnos Drama Waterproof from Lancome. My all-time favorite. I've tried every mascara in the market and I always come back to this. I get to try so many mascaras because I teach daily. So my students bring their kits and I get to try so many different kinds of mascara. It's not that I don't like them. They're awesome. All the others that I've tried have been great, but the luxury of this is on another level. And let that dry for just a second, and then I'm going to have you look down and we'll do the top. Okay, go ahead, look down. We're lifting the lid and I'm just pulling up her lashes with the wands. And look up. In case you get any type of smudging with your mascara wand, do not use eye makeup remover to clean it. Always just use a clean Q-tip, or I like to use my fingernails. I have these nails for a reason. They are like my tools, and I can just easily wipe off any smudge marks. I can even create a nice wing by pulling the eyeliner with my nail. It's so easy. Just little, random tips and techniques that help me become a more efficient artist without having to wipe off everything and start over, Okay, lashes are done. Now I'm going to put the falsies on, and then we're going to do the actual stones. I'm so excited. Okay, so with the falsies, I'm just going to use some of my favorite basics, which are from Model 21 Lashes.ca. They're in Canada. Okay. They look like this. These are in style number 21. And I'm just going to trim the inner corner a little bit. And I'm going to curl these as well. I always like to curl false lashes. You guys will see in my false lash episode coming up. I love to curl lashes. I feel like it'll make them stand up a lot better and show up a lot more on camera. And then the lash glue that I use, it's super strong, so you don't have to use too much. This is House of Lashes glue. It's latex free, so it's awesome for gentle, for sensitive eyes. It's very gentle. I have very sensitive eyes. I'm allergic to everything. So this is my favorite glue. And a lot of my clients are actually allergic to duo adhesive because of all the latex that's in it. So I started using this, and it's a brush on. You saw how easy it was for me to apply it. So we're just gonna let this get sticky, let it get a little bit drier, and then I'm just gonna pop it right on. Okay. So usually with lashes, I match center to center, and then I pull down the outer corner, and then I pull down the inner corner. And then I just kind of make sure the whole thing has adhered very nicely. Give it a little lift with my nails or with the back of the tweezers, and let it dry fully, and then I help them open their eyes, or they could open their eyes right away as long as you got a good stick to it. Open? Yeah, it's looking pretty good. We're gonna add extra mascara to that in a minute. I just don't want to add extra mascara to this right now because it's still drying, so we're gonna wait a little. Right now what we're gonna do is one of the final steps, which is to add the crystals. So I have these awesome crystals from Michaels. I don't even really want to turn this too much because they're going to fall all over the place, but they're just really, really tiny gold crystals from Michaels. It's Swarovski crystal stones. And I'm going to get my tweezers, and we're going to use the tweezers to apply them using lash glue. The same lash glue, because it's latex free, it's very safe for the skin. Close your eyes. What I'm going to do is draw the lash glue like an eyeliner in small sections because it's going to dry, so I can't really do the whole eyeliner right away. So I'm just doing it in small sections, and I'm going to pick up one by one the stones and start applying them with the tweezers. These steps are quite time consuming. So make sure if you are doing this on a client that you account for a lot more extra time than it would take for a normal makeover, because you're going to have to sit here and glue on every stone one by one. But these stones, my God, they make such a beautiful difference. This is definitely a good holiday look for New Year's, especially if you're going to a New Year's party. This is definitely going to turn heads. It's very appropriate for a very big and formal New Year's Eve bash. For weddings, I mean, it's not my cup of tea to put crystals like this for weddings, but you never know. If someone is a bling queen out there, she may want stones on her wedding day. And if you can make it look classy like this, then by all means, can't really say no to more bling. I don't even think there is such thing as too much bling. Especially these days. Weddings are so extravagant. So sometimes I use the back of my tweezer to just flatten up, make sure all these stones are nicely stuck to her. I'm going to grab more glue, section by section. Now you guys know why I did one eye before going on the camera. This thing takes forever. And then you have to move the stones in place sometimes, and it's pretty time consuming. Make another fresh section of glue. And this is another reason why I love this glue. It's brush on, so I can just use it as if it's eyeliner. So easy. And always use the back of your tweezers in case you need to adjust the stones. More sections of glue. Apply one by one, be very careful. Press it in. And what's awesome is that even the crystals don't come off until you take them off if you're using a good eyelash glue. So you don't have to worry about the client's crystals falling off throughout the evening. Even if your client's blinking and moving her eyes and whatnot, they don't move. And we're probably just going to add one more to that corner right here. And we'll be done with the eyeliner portion of the crystals. Pressing it down. Go ahead and open your eyes. Stunning. I love it. Look down again. You know what? I think we could even fit one more crystal if I just move this over. Okay, I'm going to do one more crystal. When the eyes are open, you can really tell like if you can fit another one in. Just don't overdo it because then it's really hard for them to blink and move around. You still want a little flexibility on their eye. So I wouldn't fill up the entire eyeliner space. Like the inner corner is very tricky. But I think we can just add one more and we'll be good. Right there. Perfect. Okay, cool. What I'm going to do right now is also add one more right in her tear duct, a clear crystal. But before I do that, I want to make sure her inner lines are perfect. So I'm going to go in with my fine line. This is from LA Girl Cosmetics. And it's just a fine liquid liner. And go ahead and look up. I'm just going to make sure this line is like super perfect. And this line's super perfect. Before I add that last little crystal. So now I have a little white crystal. It's the same size basically, but it's a clear crystal. It's not gold. And we're going to add that right to the end of the shiny tear duct. So we added a dot of glue. And now I'm going to pick up that white crystal. Oh no. Where'd it go? That's the hard part about crystals. These things fall so easily. Okay. So you got to be super, super careful, guys. And then make sure that you have a good grip on them with your tweezer. And then press it in to make sure it's fully stuck to the glue. So now we're ready to add a bunch of mascara to her top lashes, and she will be ready to redo her birthday all over again. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more Hypnose Drama waterproof. Go ahead and look down to the floor, and I'm just going to go nuts with this right now. I'm going to focus a lot on the tips so that the tips of her lashes are sticking straight up. And open. Awesome. All right. So guys, we're going to get a little closer so you can really see all the detail of this amazing, this amazing look right here. Go ahead and look down real quick. I'm just going to make sure that your lashes are sticking up. Okay. Perfect. Now go ahead and lean in a little bit closer. That's what they see over there. So I'm going to turn you a little bit from side to side so they can see this amazing crystal formation. Isn't that stunning, guys? Like, seriously, I'm in love with this look. It's really hard to do it on yourself, but if you were to do it on a friend or a client, it's very doable. And go ahead and look in the camera. Beautiful. So now you guys can see, we're going to do a quick recap while she's really close to you. We did the dip down. Go ahead and look down. Eyeliner right here. And we set it with Chocolate from the Tamana palette and Bengal. Then we did a mix of gilded and blush all across her entire lid. And then go ahead and look up. We did black and a mix of Veneza over blue eyeliner and a bunch of different glitter from Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner right underneath. And we added a metallic silver right on the tear duct, added a stone there, and then look down again. And we added stones all the way across her entire eyeline. So, just making sure these are all dry. Yep, looking good. And that's about it. And then the lashes are number 21 from Model 21 Lashes. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to touch up her under eye, and we'll be ready for our final photographs. So usually as soon as I'm done with the eye makeup, even though I didn't have any fallout, go ahead and sit back again a little bit. Even though I didn't really have any fallout or anything, I still like to brighten the under eye. So I go in with the contour kit. I go in with Banana and Golden Peach. And you can further brighten the whole under eye area, especially for pictures. It ends up looking really nice and exotic. And you could also kind of re-brighten the highlight zones as well. We'll do the same on the other side, just as a finishing touch. Oh, it's so gorgeous. All right, so this is the final look. We're going to zoom out a little bit so that you guys can get a better idea of the overall glam that we have going on right now. I styled her hair with Bombay Hair Tools. I'm actually coming out with my own Bombay Hair Tools, which I will be sharing with you hopefully in that next hair class episode. And we gave her a little bit of a Hollywood wave, a nice poof bang over here, and of course finished it off with this amazing headpiece from Panache by Guinea. And basically, oh, and I wanted to tell you, this top is actually from a whole two-piece dress ensemble from Be Chic Fashions. They are also on my page. They provide all my clothes. They're my stylist. She helps me all the time with picking out clothes. She knows my style. and she actually recommended me to Be Chic Fashions, and they've been awesome, and they actually ship everywhere, so I thought it would be awesome if she wore her birthday outfit for us today so we can see how glamorous the whole thing looks. So I hope you enjoyed this very special tutorial. This was a bonus class. It was not originally on the schedule. I added it in because I thought it would be a perfect Christmas gift, holiday gift for all of you guys watching out there, just in time for Christmas and New Year's and for all these holiday parties that we're about to approach now. So thank you, Angel.
Thank you.
For coming and being our model again. So now we're going to switch places. You can hang out here. I'm going to answer some questions for the Q&A. And I'm going to talk to you about the giveaway update. I have an update for you guys. So I'm going to take a seat and have a chat with you guys. Okay. Now, I have to go higher. I'm a shrimp, and I sit really low, so I just had to raise my seat. Okay, so I have an update for you guys. A lot of people were pending on their accounts and missed out on the last giveaway. So I thought since today was just a bonus class anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and extend the last giveaway that we did. So I'm going to show you exactly what the giveaway is for you newcomers that are here. I have decided to do giveaways at all of my episodes to give you guys a chance to try some of my favorite products. And I know that a lot of you were not able to fully enter the giveaway because you weren't able to see the last video and enter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce the winner, because I know a lot of you guys just saw the video last night and still kind of going through all your entries, and a lot of you didn't even know that I was having a giveaway. So if you guys have screenshots in your phones, you guys can definitely enter now, and I will announce the giveaway in my next episode, which is on Sunday. So it's just a few extra days for you guys to get up to speed on that. It is, I gotta show you the picture, it's pretty cool. So it's for those of you who have already seen the last class episode, which was the Arabic eye and cut crease. This is what we're giving away. It's an entire set from Tarte Cosmetics. It's like, there's eyeshadows, lip products, neck cream, bronzers, highlighters, lipsticks, eyeliners, brush, all that good stuff. And I just didn't want you guys to not know that there was a giveaway, especially when you've already taken a bunch of pictures from the last class on your phone. The last class is still up, actually. It's going to stay up until the 21st. So you guys still have a chance to watch that last class. It's the Arabic eye class. To enter, all the information is right here. I posted it a week ago. All you have to do to enter is to post this picture on your page, on your Instagram, and to also post a screenshot and write to me what your favorite part of class was from the last class. So that's how you enter. Again, you can see the rules on the official flyer, and I will be announcing who the winner is on the 21st, so you guys can see the video again and go ahead and enter that way. So I hope you guys are happy that I'm extending it, because I really wanted you guys to all know about this. So I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions and see if there's anything I can help you guys with in the meantime. Let's see. Oh, there's a question about, is there an expiration date for cosmetics? Like, how many years can you use the same product? There's a lot of different opinions on this. Cosmetic companies like to say a certain amount because of hygiene purposes, and also because they, you know, companies want you to come back and rebuy the product over and over. They don't want you to like go buy an eyeliner and keep it forever. They want you to be able to like buy it a few more times throughout the year, even if you haven't run out. So sometimes when people say, oh, you need to buy this like every 2 months, I don't really listen to it. What I gauge expiry on is really like if it has any active ingredients in it, then I'll give it like a year to 2 years. So like creams and liquids and stuff, usually you want to keep it for no more than 2 years. So anywhere from 6 months to 2 years, I would just keep checking it, smell it, make sure that the product hasn't separated. Sometimes oil separates from the product, or sometimes it gets a little chunky or whatever. So you want to check it and just kind of make sure that it doesn't look weird or smell weird, and then you should be okay. But yeah, I don't keep creams for more than like a year to 2 years. For pencils and stuff, as long as you sharpen it and it's not crumbling, you're fine. For lipsticks, you smell it. If it smells awful, throw it away and just buy a new one. It usually takes like a good year or two for a lipstick to start smelling funny. Some of the lipsticks that I've had for years, I'm talking like 3-4 years, still don't smell weird and they still go on really nice. They're not dry. So I'll use them on myself. But my kit, because I see so many clients every day, my kit, I go through product very often. So as long as you keep yourself busy, you don't have to worry about things sitting in your kit for too long because you're using it constantly and you're running out constantly. But you do want to double check your kit every once in a while to make sure all the products are nice. And of course you have to clean them. So, and while you're cleaning, you can check and smell your product to make sure that nothing is off. So that's my answer for when the expiry is. But of course, if a product has, if a product is filled with certain active chemicals, then usually it will say best by whatever date. So like, for example, Latisse Lash Serum. I used to use that years ago and always on the bottle it would say the expiration date, usually 2 years later. Okay, how do you waterline with white liner? What are the do's and don'ts and the best light liner to use? Okay, so when I'm using light eyeliner, like on myself, I'm using a light colored eyeliner on my waterline. What I use, I'm going to show you right now. It's NARS Larger Than Life Pencil in Rue Bonaparte. So it's just a nude. I'm not a fan, it's just a nude right here. I'm not a fan of white eyeliner unless I'm doing like a really costumey shoot or like trying to make someone look like a doll or something. To me, white is pretty harsh. It looks very costumey. It looks very artificial. I feel like nude gives you that clean waterline without it looking super fake and harsh. So I do nude. And you know how I told you when I was doing Angel's eyeliner earlier in black, how I told you that my insurance and my reinforcement is putting eyeshadow over the waterline after I do the liner just to keep it there. So the same with nude. When I do nude eyeliner, if I'm looking to have it long lasting, I'll go ahead and put the nude eyeliner and then I set it with a small brush with the nude eyeshadow to just match it up. It smooths everything out. It keeps it there. I can be super watery. I can have a total allergy attack and start crying and my eyeliner won't be going anywhere. So that's my reinforcement and my solution for waterline issues. And that's kind of what I use for the nude. Do you ever use setting spray? You know what? Honestly, I'm not a fan of setting spray. I've not found one that I really love. I also kind of almost feel like it's just another gimmick for cosmetic companies to make you buy one more product, which when I put on makeup on my clients without setting spray, the makeup already lasts like freaking 2 days if they want it to last 2 days. I say let it last 12 to 18 hours because I wouldn't want them to like really sleep in it or anything, but technically it could last like 2 days. And so why would I use a setting spray if my makeup already lasts forever? Because of the techniques. And I'll do a lot more episodes so you guys can understand my techniques a little bit more. And I'll keep doing contour. I get this questions like all the time. Can you do a contour class again? And I absolutely will. I am going to have an option eventually for you guys to be able to repurchase old classes. If you joined us late and missed out on a lot of those old classes, there will eventually be an option. I know. Yes. An option for us to bring back some old episodes for you to purchase at a very, very low discounted price if you're a member. But I'm also going to be teaching new contour classes on new skin tones, like all the time. So throughout the year, I am planning on future contour classes and more contour bonuses going forward. But anyway, going back to the whole setting spray thing, when it comes to the way I do makeup and what you guys have seen so far, if you guys have been a member from that time, I do makeup in a way that lasts literally forever. So again, setting spray to me will make no difference. And I wouldn't even know if it's working because my makeup lasts longer than the setting spray would. So I don't really need it. And the same with like other sprays. I do own a spray. It's not a setting, well, maybe it is a setting spray. It's the MAC mineralized charged water. I literally have only used it less than 5 times, and I've had it for a year. And I have it because sometimes when I'm teaching, like I teach every day, private classes, and sometimes when I'm teaching, you know how I make the lines of the contour and the highlight and all that stuff? My students and I, we take pictures of every step. We stop at every step so I can explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So sometimes the product dries on the skin. So sometimes if it's really dry and it's just hard for us to remove it, if we get sidetracked and talk, and then meanwhile the stuff is drying, sometimes I'll use that spray to spray over the model's face and to get this product to move again. So it's really like an oil that kind of breaks up the makeup a little bit, which I'm not a fan of, but sometimes it helps me because like I said, if we're waiting too long before we're blending the contour and highlight, it will dry on the face and then we're going to need a little extra help. So that's the only spray I own and use. Actually, no, I have a Modus spray that worked pretty cool, but again, my makeup lasts forever anyway, so I really don't even know if the sprays work. How do you prevent under eye creasing with a concealer? And I've tried hundreds of different concealers and they all do this. So what I use, and I used it on Angel today, I use MAC Pro Longwear Concealer under the eyes, and I set it like crazy with Studio Fix powder. Like I go nuts with the powder. And that whole cream to powder ratio is really the key to prevent the under eyes from moving around. So when there's too much concealer and not enough powder, it's going to crease because it's still wet. There's nothing to keep it really dry. The surface alone isn't what needs to be dry. The whole thing needs to feel dry. So what I do is I'll put on a thin layer of concealer. I'll pat it in so that it's really thin layer, not thick and cakey. And then I'll add a ton of Studio Fix powder right over it to get it really dry feeling, and then it won't move around throughout the day. Unfortunately, this tip does not work if you have a lot of wrinkles around the eye area or if you're super dry around the eye area. When you're super dry and wrinkly under the eyes and you use a lot of powder, it's just going to look more wrinkly. So in that case, unfortunately, the only thing that I do is I'll do the concealer and a little bit of powder, but I just let the client know that eventually they will have to touch up a little bit under their eye by just, even without product, all they have to do is use their finger and kind of just push it in a little bit. But yeah, that's the only hard part about existing wrinkles, is that it's very hard to have something without making it look wrinkly, more wrinkly. But for younger eyes, I just put on a ton of powder. How do you do makeup on small eyes? That is a whole other class. I think I may have to add that to our schedule. Everything that I've been doing so far on the eyes make it look bigger. Like the 3D smoky eye thing that I did in the smoky eye class, that makes eyes look bigger. I do it all the time on small eyes. Extending the wing liner, that helps with small eyes. I naturally have pretty small eyes, but my eyes look pretty huge in a lot of eye makeup looks because I sometimes will use the light eyeliner here, which I did today, and then I'll add a bunch of smokiness underneath, and that kind of opens up the eye too. And I'm a fan of a wing, so the wing makes it pretty big, and then I'm a fan of like a soft cut crease, and that makes the eyes look pretty big too. And then also false lashes, like I get extensions. My extension girl is Sydney Lee. It's SIDNEYLE on Instagram, and she travels here to LA like once a month to take care of my lashes. And what she does makes my eyes look bigger because she does short and small, and it's longer in the middle and not as long on the side, so it creates like a rounder look, so my eyes look more open. So that's another trick for people who want their eyes to look bigger, is with their lashes, have have false lashes pretty long on the center to make it look rounder. Or if you want your eyes to look longer, then you can have longer extensions on your lashes or false lashes on the outer corner, and that way you can get that extension look on your eye, like a cat eye kind of. And let's see what else is going on here. What was the puffy brush that you used to clean and apply the under eye powder? I'm so sorry, I forgot to tell you. That was one of my favorite Morphe brushes. Let me show that to you again. Where is it? I just used you, baby. Where are you? There it is. Okay. It's this brush here. This is Morphe M407. I love this brush because it fits pretty well under the eye. It's nice and firm, and it's so soft, so it doesn't poke my client's eye. It's like super soft. I love Morphe brushes. Like, Morphe brushes carry such an amazing, very affordable line of brushes. I mean, they're a fraction of the cost of brushes that you would get anywhere else. So I'm a big fan of Morphe brushes. Is there a variation of this look for hooded eyelids? No. Exactly what I did on Angel is what I would do for hooded eyes. That's why I have the eyes open when I'm creating the cut crease, because that way, if someone's eyes are hooded, my eyes are, let me tell you something. I feel like nobody knows this. My eyes are super hooded. Can you see these folds? I put my eyeshadow above the hood. So maybe when I look upset, you can see the hood a little bit more. Basically, I have a double fold here, and I think I have a single fold here. And it covers some of my eyelid, especially when I'm like not wearing makeup. I'm very hooded without makeup on. So what I do is I just do my crease a little higher. I ignore the hood here. So I ignore my fold here, and I do my crease a little bit higher. Where the bone, like I can feel the bone of my socket, that's where I do my crease. So if I were to do Angel's look on someone with extremely hooded eyes, same thing. When they're looking right in the camera, or I'm sorry, right in the camera, as if you guys all have the camera on, right in front of themselves, when they're looking straight ahead and you're doing their makeup, you would have them open their eyes, and with their eyes wide open, you would see where you would want to see their crease, and you just draw it right there. Wherever you think the best place for their fake crease to be, their cut crease to be, that's where you're going to draw it. And then when their eyes are closed, you can continue the line and fix it up and make it all perfect. But that's why I usually like to work with the eyes open, so I'm very clear on where the crease is going to go. Even if someone doesn't have hooded eyes, like Husna, even with her eyes, it's not like they're really hooded or anything, but I still wanted her to open her eyes so I can show you how easy it is to gauge where you would want your cut crease to go. It's pretty cool. How can I create a comfortable environment for a customer who I'm working with for the first time? I like that question. So usually what I like to do is I have music on in the background. I play Pandora. As soon as my client comes, like I'll usually offer her some water. And we just start talking. Like, I love having conversations with my clients. We laugh, we joke. So I usually, my first major question is, what kind of music do you like? And then I throw it on my Pandora. Sometimes I'll blast it really loud, and sometimes I'll just kind of have it as a filler music in the background. So sometimes we could talk about the music. But usually when the client is in my chair, just to have her comfortable, my chairs are super comfortable. It's what I'm sitting on right now. And they're actually bar stools, but they're very cushiony, so my clients can really sit back, relax, and not feel pain at all from being in my chair. And a lot of clients love mirrors. Like, they want to be able to kind of peek at themselves once in a while. I'm not a huge fan of giving them the mirror to have in their hand throughout the whole procedure, because it's only going to make me take longer, because they're going to ask a lot of questions. And what happens is, as you can see with all my videos, it doesn't look good in the beginning. Like, makeup looks weird in the beginning, and then it all of a sudden looks amazing. So I don't want my clients to freak out, but at the same time, I don't want them to feel like they have no choice to look at themselves in the mirror. So I have mirrors everywhere. Like, every corner of my salon room has mirrors. So all they have to do is kind of look to the side and check themselves, just to make sure that I'm not doing anything crazy on them, which I usually am doing something crazy on them. And they can feel a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more in tune with what's going on. Also, when you're talking to them, people feel comfortable. Always open up a conversation. If your client is not talkative and is very quiet, then ask them questions. Ask them, okay, so tell me about the event you're going to. What are you wearing? You know, whatever. Like, we're girls and we like to have fun and we love to talk. And if someone's being shy and is not able to talk to you and open up to you, you make them feel comfortable and you ask them questions about their day. You ask them, do you have any kids? Are you married? You know, it's just small talk. It's just fun. And it makes your day go so fast. It makes you make friends. and they end up loving you. And it's not, when a client comes back to you, it's not just because of your talent. It's because of your personality too. And it's also because of their comfort level, like you mentioned, in your place, whether it's your salon or your home or whatever. Even if you're going to their place, you're taking care of them. Although it's their home and they may want to offer their hospitality to you by offering you stuff, it's you that's taking care of your client physically. So you want to make sure that she falls in love with you and she gets to see your personality. So you talk to them and you have fun with them. And I'm very touchy-feely with my clients. Like, as you can see, I touch the face a lot and I move stuff around a lot. So I become very friendly with my clients. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why they keep coming back to me. It's not just about the talent. It's really about personalities meshing well together, them feeling so comfortable with you that they don't mind telling you to change something. And that's the other thing. At the end of the makeover, I don't ask them, okay, do you like it? Okay, great, bye. Like, I don't assume that they're going to like it. I assume that they may want to change something, because honestly, we all have insecurities, right? So if a client wants to change something about your makeup, it has nothing to do with your talent. Sometimes it might, but it usually doesn't have anything to do with your talent. It's about their insecurity about something. So you just want to respect that. Such as, I've had clients that have said, I love the style of makeup, but is there any way that you could do a little less under the eyes? I feel like I have black eyes. Because I like to go really thick eyeliner. I like to do thick eyeliner on the bottom. That's my thing. But maybe that's not your thing. So at the end of the appointment, I ask my client, go ahead and look in the mirror and let me know if there's anything at all that you want me to adjust or change. Go ahead and let me know now. It's very easy for me to adjust it. Don't worry. And that way they feel comfortable enough to tell me the truth. Instead of them going home, having to fix it themselves, ruin themselves, and then great, we can't even get a good picture or a good selfie from them because it's not even your work, because they changed it, or maybe it looks even worse because they changed it. You want to be able to make them leave your home or leave your salon or leave your chair feeling perfect. So they're going to look in the mirror. I'm going to tell them, go ahead and tell me if there's anything you want me to adjust. I'll do it now. And then they come back to the chair. They're like, oh, can you extend this eyeliner a little bit? Or can you shorten this eyeliner a little bit? Or whatever they want to say. Or can you just add a little bit more blush? And I'm like, great, perfect. And then I do it with no problem, no attitude, no talking back. Unless you're against the change that they want to make, then you can provide your expert opinion on it. But normally, whatever they want, I will do it as long as it looks good. And I don't take anything personal. Like, it's not about the work. It's really about what they like, okay? So that's how I make my clients feel comfortable in their environment, especially the first time you're meeting them. Okay, so I'm gonna answer just a few more questions. It's 6:46, so I'll probably answer just a few more questions. Can you create the, oh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to look for actual questions instead of comments. With the stones, how long will they last? Is it possible for them to fall in the eye? Actually, when you're using a good eyelash glue, first of all, you need to find a really good eyelash glue. An eyelash glue that's very sticky and thick so that it can hold on to the product really well. The eyelash glue that I used is from House of Lashes. In case you missed it, this is what it looks like. It's a brush-on glue. I use it like it's eyeliner. And it's very sticky and thick. So what I did on Husna is I applied a thin line of the glue and then I applied the crystals right over it. And it stuck really well. These crystals will not fall. Like, even if she blinks a trillion times, it's not going to fall. We actually did a trial, Angel, Husna, and I did a trial. The first time we ever did a bling eye, we filled her entire eyelid with crystals, tiny crystals and medium crystals. And we were both trying to just do a trial to see if it would last, even if she fell asleep in them. So we did the trial at night. She goes home, she goes to sleep. The next day she texts me and says not even a single crystal fell off, not even in bed. Meaning, tossing, turning, face in pillow, nothing fell off. So that's how I knew, okay, I'm using a good glue, we're cool. So if you're unsure, you can always do a trial and make sure your glue is good. But normally if your glue is thick and sticky, then you're good to go and you'll be fine. But if you're using a very watery glue, I usually wouldn't recommend it because it'll end up being too thin. A lot of the water will evaporate and then it may not get that much of a hold with your crystals. So make sure it's thick and sticky. Let's see. A lot of questions on the hooded eye thing. I'm glad I went over that. And again, I have a major hooded eye. Well, not major, but I have a pretty hooded eye. Husna doesn't have a major hooded eye, but it could be a little hooded if it can show a little bit of a hood if the eyeshadow isn't applied correctly. So what I mean by correctly is it's got to go high enough. The crease has got to go high enough for it to show even when the eyes are all the way open. How do you prevent fallout when setting your waterline with black eyeshadow? First of all, it's two things. It's three things. It's the way you apply it, it's the brush that you apply it with, and it's the product itself. Because sometimes certain eyeshadow products are very dusty. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I've tried a lot of eyeshadow that had a nice silicone base to it where it was like very creamy and silky. Or some sort of silky base. I don't know if it's a silicone base or whatever it is, but it's a dry eyeshadow, but it's very silky, and so it sticks very nicely. And then there's other eyeshadows that are very powdery, even though it's in a compact regular eyeshadow, but it's very powdery and dusty, and so it just falls all over the place. So make sure you're getting yourself a good eyeshadow. Like the one that Anastasia and I created for the Tamana palette was really creamy for a powder. So it definitely sticks very well. That's what I used today on my model for the class, and it didn't fall anywhere. The brush that I used was a nice small compact brush, the MAC 231. That usually helps me. Also making sure that when you pick up your product, you tap off the brush. So for example, if you're gonna pick up the product with whatever brush you're using, you pick up the product and then you just tap it to get the dust to fly away so that when you're tapping in the eye, that it's not overly saturated with too much product. Another thing is don't move your hands so much when you're tapping. Go very softly when you're doing it so that there's not so much movement on the brush, so it's less chances of product falling off the brush and onto your skin. And lastly, if you're still having an issue with fallout, then definitely get some shadow shields. I'm going to show you what they look like. They are these crescent shaped, I don't know what it's even made out of. It's pretty cool, but it has a sticker backing, and you just remove the sticker backing and you can stick it right under your eye, and it will catch all the fallout. So basically you could just stick this top part and the rest would basically catch whatever fallout, or you could just stick it over your whole cheek and use it. Or I don't even stick it because I always do face first before I do eye. So I don't want to stick this on and mess up my concealer. So what I actually do is if I'm working with a product that's very dusty and it's just not sticking very well, I'll just hold this up and just go nuts with my brush and then just move it out of my way when I'm ready to move on. So that's it. I hope you guys had an amazing class today. I'm noticing that some of you may have had some video issues due to internet connections. I have my team literally working around the clock on Dress Your Face live help. They've been doing all of my customer service and helping literally like every second of the day. So if you ever have technical questions about your membership, or if you're having issues watching a video, or any problem at all, go ahead and email, and you should actually write this down just for your records. Now that you're a member, you need to have access to my customer service at all times. The email address is info@dressyourfacelive.com, and someone will be available to help you as soon as possible, and just provide them with your, your login information so that they know if there's any issues with your account. Also, since a lot of you have been asking about the certification, we are in the process of creating an entire fresh and extremely seriously heavy curriculum for those of you who are very serious about getting certified by me. Originally, I was against doing a certificate for online courses because I'm not able to test you or know if you're understanding any of my teachings. And there's like thousands of you out there, and I just don't know how to control it or whatever if it was open like that. But then we've actually figured out a great way to get a lot of you guys to become certified, because it's just such a huge demand right now. Next year, I'm going to be traveling a lot and doing the big makeup shows that I'm known to do, actually across the country. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling in 2015, God willing. And so I'm going to be away a lot. And so my one-on-one students or my two-on-one students do not have as much of a chance to get in for a date with me in my home studio. So for that reason, I've actually created an entire curriculum for you guys to have a chance to get certified. And there is actually a final exam at the end of that curriculum. It's going to be a course of several videos for you to watch and memorize and then take a written exam. And then upon completing the video curriculum and passing the exam, you will receive and truly earn a Dress Your Face certificate. This is going to be a separate program for members only, so non-members will not be able to get in. This is going to ensure that I understand that you understand what you're learning, and it's not that you could just, people can just buy a certificate. It's going to be true learning experience, like going to a school, like a full-on online college. So I'm very excited about that. I think this is going to be epic, and I'm so glad that people who are not able to take my one-on-one course can finally have a chance to get certified by me for a fraction of the price. So it is going to be its own bundle. It should be available soon, and I will keep you all updated on that on my Instagram page. Always I update. So if you guys have any questions about anything, always check my posts for the latest updates. I'm forever talking about this because I always get questions about this class. So I'm always answering questions, and I'm always making sure that you guys are very well informed. So definitely check my Instagram as often as possible. If you have any questions, I probably have already answered them, or I will be answering them soon in a post. So that's one thing. And again, just to remind you, the giveaway has been extended because I know that a lot of you just got in and a lot of you weren't able to get in when you first registered for class. So I want to make it fair for everyone, and I've pushed the giveaway to the 21st. So on the 21st, I will announce who's the winner of all those Tarte products. So all you have to do is watch my Arabic eye video to enter that giveaway. And then I will announce what the new giveaway is. And that's going to be pretty awesome. So I can't wait for that. And I will see you on the 21st for my hair curling episode. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.